Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Better Humans. And today I have the unique pleasure of bringing on a friend and a colleague of mine, Christy Barber from Christy Barber Consulting. Christy, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good. How about you?
Really good. Have you had your coffee yet?
No, I don't like coffee. Okay, I'm that person. I know.
Oh,
I'm a tea drinker. But yet I carry a cup that says but coffee first just to help everybody out.
uh, I mean, you're a sheep in wolf's clo or wait, no, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Cheap
I
food,
got that
yeah.
backward. My brain will turn on by the end of this. No, I'm just kidding. No, tea's definitely got its place. But tea for me is nighttime. It's like it's the calm down, and like when I wake up I'm like it's time to ramp up. Let's go. Like
Yeah.
let's fight the day. So,
No, funny
to
enough,
each
I
their
used to
own.
drink coffee as a kid, and then I don't like it as an adult. I know. So many questions.
Yeah, actually I could literally open up the box on that. But my wife and I we're not coffee snobs to the extent that we won't drink certain types of coffee, but we definitely like prefer like this coffee over this
Mm-hmm.
coffee or this method versus that method. And I mean, we just go to such extremes of like grind these specific amount of grams with 500 milliliters of water fresh off the boil, pour over. I mean, we get crazy with it. So um, yeah, I have only had two shots of espresso so far this morning, and I got to get ramped up. So let's get into
Need
it.
two more after this.
Yeah, absolutely. So Christy, where are you calling in from today?
I'm from Nashville,
I had
Music
no
City.
idea.
Yeah, well,
You're
because
in
I lived in
Nashville?
Denver before, that's why. And then I moved to Nashville last year.
No way. What part?
Yeah. I am just south of Franklin.
Oh my gosh, I have family in Franklin.
Next time you're out, let me
Yeah,
know.
definitely. And man, like one of my clients' businesses, actually, you know what? Tennessee, especially, it's like Nashville, Brentwood, Franklin, like that Davidson County area. It is Davidson County, right? Or am I
Williamson.
Williamson?
Yep,
There's some kind
Davidson's
of
just north.
no, yeah, okay, gotcha. But a lot of that area, oh my gosh, it's like it's it's growing at an astronomical rate.
Oh
Not
yeah.
like the most in the country, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Traffic is terrible. So yes, I see the growth.
Yeah, there's like I mean, Texas, certain parts of Texas, DFW, West Lakes, Rockwall, like that area is like popping off. Brentwood, Franklin, and the south of Nashville popping off. You
Oh yeah.
literally like you can't buy a house under 750K there anymore, I don't
No.
think.
Mm-mm.
It's insane.
Unless you probably won't need to renovate the whole thing. They're like, hey, here's a shell of a house for $500,000 and go ahead and put 200 into it or more.
That's so funny. That literally gives me PTSD from buying a house in 2021. The house I'm in right now, literally a gift from God, first and foremost. But all the other houses that we had put offers in on
Mhm.
were spray painted garbage listed at a premium.
Yep.
I mean, like that. You ever see like the landlord special, and it's literally just
Oh
like
yeah.
three coats of spray paint on top of like rusted nails. That's what people were selling, except at like premium prices.
Hmm.
So finally, we came across this house, and we were actually number two in terms of the offers. It was the same amount as another bidder, but they were a company, and they were going to do cash, like boom, right there.
Oh yeah.
And the sellers didn't want to sell to a company, and they looked at offer number two, and they were like, "Oh, a young married couple looking to start a family, them."
Perfect. That's what we want.
Right? Oh my gosh, it was the biggest gift ever. So, although it's not like the most amount of land that I would want to live on, I definitely want to be
Mhm.
on five or more acres. It is it is such a great, I mean, amazing seed, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the background. That's
Yeah,
enough right
and
there.
we worked on this part, right? But like, but yeah. Anywho, dang, oh, that's right. I was asking you where you're calling it from. So, Chrissy, today I want to talk to you about a little bit about your business, but more along the lines of kind of how you got there. And what I really want to be able to uncover and learn from you is how you operate, because I have this inkling that you and I are actually more similar than I had originally thought. Here's my guess before we get
Okay.
into it. I actually think that we're both highly analytical people, but we drive a lot of our analytics, or like analytical thought process, derived from like gut emotions and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, and so I want to get into that, and I want to uncover that. But before I do that, can you just tell me quickly, Christie Barber Consulting, what do you guys do?
So I help build out accounting departments. How many times you might start a business and you have your sister do your accounting and you're using QuickBooks and you just hit click buy and then you go. So I come in and make sure it's all running smoothly. Do you have the right software coming into QuickBooks also, because sometimes QuickBooks isn't enough to do
Hmm.
what you need it
Yeah.
to do. And then it's making sure that you have the right processes inside your department to do things properly. Like, how are you doing your collections? How are you paying bills? Do you have a schedule? All of those things that when you first start a business, you're probably not aware of. And then you learn about
Yeah.
those as you go. And that's been
But
my thing.
so
And
I
I
have
work
a question.
predominantly 20 million and under.
So
Sorry, I thought we should have background music. Sorry, it played.
yeah, yeah. Was that
That's
Spotify or
awesome.
something? Or
It was.
that's amazing. That's
And
so
I went to
funny.
move my laptop, and it's like, okay, we got some
You're gonna
music here,
you're gonna get us shut down because of copyright infringement.
right? You like
Um,
delete.
yeah. So here's one question that I have, and it's literally because I I think through like customer experiences and like what's the current state, what's the dream state and stuff like that. But like, what is when someone approaches you for this, do they really know that they have a problem, or are they feeling the problem but they don't really understand kind of like what it is and why it is? Because like I didn't get into entrepreneurship to have like schedules and processes
Mhm.
and like accounting and stuff like that. I got into entrepreneurship honestly because of the love of helping people.
Yeah.
So on my end and in my lens, I'm like, what is this? Why do I want it? So like what am I feeling going into that, and like what problems am I facing? Because I might be facing these problems. You know what I'm saying? Are you picking up
Right.
on what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right?
You're like, diagnose. Am I feeling all these things your clients do? I would say a lot of them come in and they feel a pain point that is not derived from usually what I go fix. It's an ancillary feeling from that. So meaning they're like, hey, I gotta write these guys an invoice and this system's hard to use. I don't know what to do. And you're like, okay, well, let me walk you through that part. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, do you know XYZ, da da da, this and this? And they're like, oh, sounds about right. We were just ignoring all of that. There's those types of things. Or there's people coming in, hey, our business is growing, and they have, their sister, their mom doing some of the books, and they're like, yeah, they don't really know what they're doing, but it was just enough to get us by. And now we're going to start playing with the big kids. How do we set up
Oh,
for
okay.
that?
Yeah, okay. So they may be looking on their projections, and essentially like they're like, we want to grow by a certain amount, but we may be capped due to like
Yeah.
internal operations, internal processes that are bad,
Yeah.
obsolete,
And
inefficient, right?
it's just you outgrew those. They were great for when you started, and now you're graduating to that next stage, and
Yeah.
you got to have those grow with you.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Or I have ones that, hey, my CPA gets in once a year and kind of just does some magic so we can file our taxes.
I really hope
um,
my CPA never listens to this, but I've got one of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
yep. Yep.
And we
Understand.
used to get on call. You know what? It's like a bad ex. You know, like
Mhm.
we used to go on date. We used to take a phone call about my schedule and my taxes, and now he's literally just like submit the papers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, got it, check. Yeah. So I've had those, and they hop in, once a year, or they've gone in and just done the work for the client, and then they want to say, "Hey, our business is growing." And I go in, and I'm like, "You have no history. I don't even know how your business was going because your CPA
Hmm.
just went in once a year, made a entry into QuickBooks, and says, "Hey, you did $2 million, and that's it. I have no history of what you even paid or who paid."
Like transaction records, like
Yeah.
none of that.
No.
Holy crap!
It's amazing what you see.
My buddy has a sticker. My buddy he does compliance and security and some API stuff for Aflac.
Hmm.
And he has a sticker on his laptop and it says smells like fraud, but okay. It's the
It's
funniest thing in
totally
the world.
true. It really is. I'm like, man, I should have been a forensic accountant. I should have gone for that program because some of the things that I have found over the years, I'm like, so this person isn't stealing, they're just not being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
are
I
any
have a
of us
job.
over 100% honest with our taxes? Probably shouldn't say this on
No.
the internet.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
right. I
okay.
said I don't. I think most people try to be as much as they can, but there's always going to be something you probably forgot along the way, and it's that,
Mm,
oh, yep, we should do this.
yeah. Smells like fraud, but okay.
Yeah, it passes the litmus test. We're okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So you basically come through and I mean, so there's like I come from the internet marketing world and this gets used like so overused. It's such a cliche. And normally people are talking about it on like the traffic and the revenue growth side, but you truly are like a component of like we'll say like a necessity or a requirement in order for businesses to truly level up into the next stage of business for
Hmm.
them. And Brad Gibb, actually, we were listening to the economic value of certainty. I think he has this on his Substack, wherever else he publishes too. But one of the things he said in there, you fall to the most certain or most stable level of your systems.
Yeah.
And so if something were to happen in your client's business, they're not going to fall to like whatever the last like revenue benchmark was. They're going to fall to the level of their systems. And if they have like mom and pop accounting and like awful processes, and then they're slapped with this fine or like whatever. I mean, they could really be up the creek, maybe even
Yeah.
shut down, right?
Hmm. I always
Ugh.
think of there's a book called The Toyota Way. Had to read it in grad school, and it talks about because they use the Kanban. If
Mhm.
you're familiar
I
with
am,
that,
yeah,
that.
very.
So that they use ping pong balls of different colors, and then a ping pong ball of whatever color would come out to say, "Hey, there's something wrong here, and we need to stop it before it catches all the way up to where it's really going to cause pain." So to your point, it's you put the right systems and processes in, and you now have something that's going to catch you before a lot of harm comes.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, and such a necessity because there's a sliver of businesses that break through like the $3 million mark. And is that like what is like the threshold where it would start to be like, is it like 2 mil, 3 mil ARR that a company would be like, we should probably fix this accounting thing? Is that when it starts to get
Yeah,
overwhelming
I
for
see
them?
it around some of them when they're internet marketing type companies like e-commerce, you start to see it at 1 million because that's they're starting to usually pick up a lot more transactions,
Mm,
all of those things, and then you really gotta tighten it up because inventory management is key and also how e-commerce accounting it's not like other accounting. There's a lot more to it that when I've gotten clients that have had bookkeepers before, they're trying to run it like it's a service-based company, and so they're not calculating inventory, they're not doing a lot of things that they
yeah.
should. So now when you read your financials, you're like, "Oh, we're doing fantastic." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. You're not because they didn't account for this over here. And when I throw that in there, now this is how you're doing." It's so sad. Sometimes I just come in and shatter dreams. I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. I really wanted to believe we're doing well, and we're just not right now.
Did
But
you ever did you watch Parks and Rec?
no, I've seen little clips of it.
Okay, so to spoil a little bit of it for you, two of the male characters that come in a little later in the show are Adam Adam Scott, and I can't remember the other guy's name. His character's name is Chris Traeger, and Ben Wyatt in the show. But basically, they're state auditors,
Hmm.
and Chris is like he's handsome, he's charismatic. He comes in, he's guys, this is gonna be great. On the other side of this, there's gonna be hopes and dreams and rainbows, and everything's gonna be working, and it's all good. And then Adam Scott's character Ben Wyatt comes through after like Chris gets done. He's like, "This is bad. You're all getting shut down. Do not come in for the next 2 weeks. Like I'm auditing this, I'm tearing this apart, I'm gutting this." And they're like they play good cop bad cop the entire time. So
Yeah.
either it sounds like you need a partner who's going to be your good cop, right?
Hmm. I
I don't
try
know
to
if you
play it
like
as much
being
as I can, but then some days I'm like, "Ah, I'm so sorry. We got to be in the real reality of what's going
yeah.
on."
It's like day one you need to wear like a nice blue shirt or sweater
Hmm.
like you've got on now. Day two, red.
Red.
It's like
Yep.
it's red day, guys. I'm sorry, but
So sorry. Be
Janice, you're
prepared.
done. Ryan,
Yep.
you're out.
It would be so funny. I'm like, and
That
then
would be
they just
crazy.
know. Everybody, they're like, oh, it's that day. You wear blue so many days in a row, and then all of a sudden you pop in with the red shirt. Oh, all right, we're in for it today, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when actually what I want you to do is can you take me back? How did all of this get started for you? Because usually usually people seek a we'll say like a more traditional like job or role
Hmm.
with a single organization. How did you even get into this practice in the first place? And then what led you eventually into entrepreneurship?
I come from an entrepreneurial family, so I think there's some of it in my DNA to do that. I'm also the personality that I don't really like to be told what to do when it's stupid. And so we all know when you work for larger companies, there's dumb rules, and those just don't do well for me. I like rules when they make sense. When they don't make sense, then I'm like, what is the point of this? It's silly. But even I think as far back as high school, and I know even more in college, I my goal was I want to have my own business. I want to be, a CEO of, whatever I do, and grow something to help people where there's some type of gap in life. What that was, I didn't know. I went to school to be an accountant. My grandpa was like, "Hey, you learn numbers, you are worth gold no matter where you go." I was like, "Yes, sir, that sounds great." Um, and it was fun. It was really hard in a lot of ways because school only teaches you two ways. You can be a tax accountant or you can be an auditor. Those are your two choices. But there's
Right.
so much more than that that I wish I would have known then that I do now, because I think I would have had a different outlook on it. Instead, I graduated regretting the knowledge that I learned in a lot of ways. And I got rejected from so many firms because they wanted, at the time, everybody was hung up on GPAs and like, well, we want a 3.8, 3.9 and above. I'm like, who has that and has a life? Like, I'm sorry. So I got rejected from all of those, and it was kind of that moment of, gosh, this does not go in the route that I want it to go. And I ended up working for my family's business for a while, kind of just digging in, learning a lot more operations and things like that, which I've grown to really, really love. Ended up moving to Colorado, was a CFO of a manufacturing company, which is where then it excited me again, all of the accounting skills, because I'm using it in a way that's fun. And I'm helping an organization, I'm helping people understand where they're coming from. And then I took a short trip to the corporate world because I wanted to buy a house. And the company I was at, they were not doing so well, and I was not
Right.
guaranteed a paycheck. So I
Right.
went into this corporate world that I understand why there's so many TV shows about it, because it pretty much hit every one of those. And it was terrible. I remember telling my friend worked there and got me the job, and I told him, I think it was the second or third day, and I was like, "You tricked me. This is
Yeah.
not what you said this would be like here."
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So then I left there after 3 years and started my own business.
Wait, pause.
Yes.
After 3 years?
Yeah, okay. So I got a little stuck for a second of, I'm sure a lot of people believe this. Maybe you've had, it's that imposter syndrome that would pop up of you don't have what it takes to go out on your own. You have to stay here. This is what people do, even though this sucks and you hate your life here and everybody knows you hate it here. But this is kind of what you do. And then I took a vacation of 2 weeks and kind of just sat there and prayed about it and
Yeah.
got a really clear mind. And all of a sudden I just felt God tell me, "Hey, you're done here." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, do we have a date for when I'm done, or are we done today?" And
God
I just
should
remember
should you know
saying
should I
July
file my
1st.
2 weeks or
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. He's like, "No, you got to stick it out a little bit longer because we got to build up a little bit more reserve." And so July 1 of 2015, I was like, "Peace out, guys, and I am on my own."
It, honestly, that entire problem right there, where it was like off the rip, you recognize that this is not good. This is
Yeah.
not where I should be. I can tell that there's going to be issues and I'm going to have problems. But then logical safe Christy goes, well, I've got to, I've got to save up reserves. I need to have a plan. I need to. This is a big wrestling point that I think a lot of people struggle with between their job and their role versus, I mean, what I would consider true entrepreneurship, which is literally taking the risk, literally
Mhm.
taking the gamble, putting 100% control on your plate and going out and making it happen, because then you turn around. And by the way, I'm not in an accusatory way. I worked with ClickFunnels for 11 years. So
Yeah.
like not knocking anybody,
Oh, I
but
knocked myself for being there 3 years too long. I should have only lasted a week.
right. Um, but yeah, so what's interesting though is that the internal dialogue was what you just described. And there's so many people that experience that. And I was actually incredibly blessed, and probably the reason why I stuck at ClickFunnels for so long was because entrepreneurship and side hustles and helpfulness and other stuff like that, all of that was encouraged, absolutely encouraged. Like all the employees at ClickFunnels are also affiliates of ClickFunnels, and we
Hmm.
share it. And they're also encouraged to like have a side hustle. Like don't go build a competing SaaS. Obviously, you you can't work here anymore, right?
Yeah.
But there's people who are leaders in the company that like Jamie Smith is a great example.
Yeah.
Built CF Pro Tools and built it up and got himself his own 2 Comma Club award by doing a little JavaScript and HTML and CSS snippets that complement the software, right?
Mhm.
So I grew up in an environment where entrepreneurship and side hustles and things like that weren't actually encouraged. And so I've actually had my we'll call it like web design, funnel design. Uh, it was a side hustle. Now I do like full on marketing and sales for large brands. But where it started was like I've got some spare time on the weekends, and people keep tapping my shoulder and they're asking me like, "Hey, I love ClickFunnels. I'm totally bought in. I just don't have time to learn it. Can you build something for me?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, buddy,
Yeah.
let's do it for cheap." And I'm also one of the best in the world at it, but whatever, like it's fine, it's cool.
Hmm.
So, anywho, yeah, I wanted to talk about that for a second because I think that someone may be listening in and thinking like, it's not like it's if I leave now, it's not going to work. Or if I jump ship too soon, I haven't built my plan. Like if my airplane's not, or sorry, if my parachute's not like fixed before I go. Actually, that's a
Yeah.
bad example. But like landing the plane, or sorry, building the plane before you land it, like that, whatever that metaphor is, I'm totally botching it right now.
No,
I need
I
more
know what you
coffee.
mean. I don't remember the full thing either. But yeah, it's one of the like you can over prepare, but you can also prepare enough to then go. And I think so many of us we get stuck in that analysis paralysis of am I ready, am I not? Am I ready, am I not? And then it just 5 years passes and then you're like, am I ready, am I not? And then another 5 years passes and finally the pain is so much you're willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember I had a coach at one time that told me if you did something and the pain wasn't enough, you weren't ready to change. When the pain is so much you can't endure it anymore, then you're ready for the change. And I think that hits everybody differently because we all have different thresholds and what we're willing to put up with.
Actually, you know what? That is I now that I think about it, that is actually incredibly accurate. And as so that's interesting because I'm working with another friend on her. She just hit $1 million in her business, and she's doing a bit of a transition right now. And one of the programs that she's putting in place, before someone would join in on her mastermind, as an example, is like a 2 day event, and it's like a workshop intensive type of style, but the entire thing is all storytelling and like problem highlighting. I think
Yeah.
is the like calm way to put it. But like as marketers, it's our job, and it's so funny because I literally this is literally still on my desk. But I don't know if you've ever watched like an internet marketer's presentation on something, and they're like, "You have this problem. You ever like felt like
Oh,
this, or you ever
yes.
had this problem before?" And you're like, "Yeah, actually, I have." It's like it really feels like this sometimes, right? And you're like, "Yeah." It's like, and then when you do this and this, and it's like it's excruciating, and then you're staying up at night, you can't sleep, and it's like, dude, yes, I have the problem, and yeah, you're right, I that is happening to me, but like, okay, I feel it, and so what I what I call that as a marketer is taking the screwdriver, stabbing it in,
Yep.
twisting it, and yanking up, and if you can do that with your it's like kind of the reason why I was asking about like what problems are people facing and ultimately like what are they feeling earlier because I genuinely really wanted to know kind of like what that looks like for somebody in what you do. But
Yeah.
if you can do that as a marketer, it's like sales fall in your lap, and it's the craziest thing because they feel not like not just like seen but like intimately understood.
Hmm.
And the problem, like, great example was like working with Josh 40. And that I remember earlier when I was like, oh yeah, sales funnels, like I would just do them all buddy buddy.
Yeah.
I did a friends and family price point of a 5 day no, it was a 3 day challenge, and I only charged $1,500 for it. But it was a really good mission. I believed in what they were doing. I knew it was good and helpful. It was a guy in a local network, and he was like on the fence about paying $1,500 just because he's not like from the world that I come from.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I promise you this will be worth it. Um, it did okay because he was kind of like half in, half out. But at the end of the day, I made $1,500 on a private Facebook group and a 3 day challenge funnel. And I was like, that's not good. I make more from other deals, but this is
Yeah.
okay. Like I'm helping and supporting a friend. Josh gets on the freaking line because he posts he put this Facebook post out about people in his program that they had done, and I'm totally paraphrasing the numbers, but something like 1.3 million in sales, 800K cash collected, zero ads. And like ads were the bane of my existence. I did not want to learn them. I hated them. They stressed me out
Hmm.
to the extreme. And I was like, holy crap. Like, wait. Tell me what's going on here because I hate ads and I like money. And you just polar opposite of those for me. And so he goes through his entire thing. He does this whole, presentation with me, and I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, that thing that you said you sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm just curious. I know you say that the deliverables don't matter. I know you say it's all based on the outcomes and the results. Like, I get it. Yes, I agree. Understood. But just tell me, what did you actually sell that person? And he goes, oh, a 5-day challenge and a Facebook group. And I busted out laughing. And then I almost cried. Yeah. I was like tearing up. And it was this point of absolute pain where I was like, if I'm so freaking smart, and I'm so good and I'm so talented and I get all the praise from all the people and all the things, why am I stuck? Why am I so stuck right here? Right? So finally you want to talk about like, right? Like,
and then back around for round 2 of that.
Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? He got me really good. Which is great because it absolutely changed everything for me. That's why internet marketers aren't so bad, guys. Come on, give us a little break, right?
Well, it's thing with value. I think a lot of times we underestimate our own value because we don't know if people will want to buy what we have when we are really talented at what we do. And I think I've learned that. I mean, Josh has told me too, different things like, you're charging what? And I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, cool. Are you like straight out of school with no work experience? And that's a great price. But you've been doing this forever and that's so silly. And sometimes you just need to borrow somebody else's belief for a second to get back on track to say, all right, yes, I am this and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang. So, Christy, where do you feel like you are at in terms of your business as it relates to like your own growth? And I know that, and where I want to kind of like shift you into with this is like AI is taking over freaking everything, right?
Everything.
There's people who are like, AI killed, or Claude Code killed designers. Now that there's Claude Design, and Claude killed architects, and Chat just did Image 2.0. Nano Bananas. I mean, it's this guy killed this guy.
Noisy.
Yeah. Right. All that noise aside, when it comes to your business and like your actual growth of where you're at right now, where do you see yourself? And then like, I personally have my eye on 2028, and I think it is this massive culmination of like too many things converging all at the same time. And it's kind of like the what's it called, at the edge of a black hole, the event horizon. I think of 2028 as an event horizon where we truly don't know. We can guess, but we truly don't know what is on the other side of 2028 due to the advancements of AI, or intelligence, and then super intelligence and AGI and like all that stuff. Yeah. So I know that this is kind of a loaded question, but like, how are you feeling? I guess ultimately is the question about your business right now.
I think when we talked back at the event, I guess it's only been in March, like a month ago, which is crazy because it feels like it's been longer than that, I feel slightly behind because my busy season for accounting is January through the middle of March. And I feel like I missed 80 years of AI, essentially, because I was busy and not able to test and keep up on things and all of that. And I actually had this conversation with Josh last night too of, gosh, man, there's so much that I need to put into the business AI-wise, and I don't have the time because I'm busy with some deliverables, I'm busy growing it. How can I balance all of that out? And I also think you get a lot of noise from news and people writing articles and whatnot, scaring people with
Mm-hmm.
AI. And I mean, I think the same thing was when the internet became pretty predominant. They're like, oh my gosh, it's going to take over the world. Okay, cool. It's a tool, and we've all learned how to use it. We've learned how to use search engines. This is a new type of tool that, yes, you have to be very careful with how you use it because of compliance and how things are shared. But if you are willing to learn it, it's going to pay you dividends later on. And I think that's where I'm at compared to where others in my industry are, where they're crying the blues that, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I'm like, guys, it's a tool. We're going to learn how to use it. I don't know how it's going to affect our industry totally. I think it will get smarter over time, but I don't see that it's going to say, hey, you know what? All accountants are done. You're done. You have no value in life. You have nothing to provide the world. I don't believe in that because there's still so much that we have to give based on experience that essentially an AI robot can't give. It hasn't lived things. And yes, we can download our knowledge into it and it can use that to play off of it, but I don't see it fully taking over. But at the same time, I want to stay in it so I can ride the forefront of AI in my industry so that I'm not irrelevant.
I saw I mean, it was forever ago. And I won't link it. I'm just going to like lightly paraphrase it, but it was someone, it was like an Instagram reel, and it was someone, like with a tree on fire and like the birds like flying out of the nest and like, they're like, look at this fire. Like, look, like it's consuming everything. It's burning, it's destroying, it's killing, it's all this stuff. And but I think just before then, it was talking about AI and like how literally, I mean, it's got to be just one of the most effective hook tactics to do, scaring and fear mongering and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sure, because we continue to see it, it just proves its efficacy, right? But the reel was like it it went to the like a burning tree, and then it said like this is only scary because of what it's doing right now, but the same flame that burns and destroys the tree is the same flame that heats and cooks your food, that warms your house, and it listed all of the like as man has mastered fire,
Yeah.
all of the utility and good that we've assigned the tool of fire to do for us. And it was one of the more encouraging like conversation flips on its head. And I think that's really akin to kind of what you're saying here. It's like it AI might take 80% of what I do, but it won't take me or the
Mm-hmm.
magic I produce or the insights gleaned off my personal experiences, my anecdotes, literally,
Yeah.
like Christy, who AI can't replace who Christy is, but knows how to compile invoices, right? Like,
Yeah,
because,
exactly. Yeah. I think it's going to be it's really interesting, and you look at the accounting industry as a whole, and there's a lot of folks that are older, they're like our parents' age and older, that they're getting ready to retire and all of that, and they
yeah,
don't want to adapt to newer technology. You also have people that hate change, that they might be our age, they might be younger, and they're just like, I hate change, I like it the way it is. Cool. You can keep going that way, but you're going to be irrelevant in time. And it's just
yeah,
a matter of time until you are. And I think we kind of saw that in 2020 too, of when people had to pivot and, okay, now you got to work from home, you got to sell from home, you got to do all of these things. And people hated it at first, but look how good we all got with Zoom calls and whatnot, of being able to continually do our work. It was just a shift. And I can see AI as that also. It's just a shift in the tool set that we're going to be using. But there's also, like, going back to my industry that is made up of a lot of folks retiring and all of that, and there's this fear mongering out. There's not enough people to replace these guys. What are we gonna do? You're like, all right, well, it'll work itself out. I have no doubt. But you also got a lot of PE firms coming in and gobbling up these mom and pop accounting firms that they don't have anybody to pass it down to. And what is that going to look like when you get these strong PE backed firms that have tons of money to put into AI? What are they going to be in the types of services they offer? And we're going to have to kind of compete with that.
Yeah, that's the big fish eats the little fish, right?
Mm-hmm. And that irritates me more than anything because I love small business, and small business, I believe, is what makes the world work. And I hate corporate a lot, and probably because I worked there for 3 years and hated it even more.
Mhm.
But I love the stories that the mom and pop businesses tell of how they arrived at where they are and what they went through and how it wasn't easy. And yet they've provided a phenomenal life for themselves.
You know what? I was literally just talking about this. So although AI generatively can create and create pretty well at this
Hmm.
point, not the best. I think it's still just like slightly noticeable when someone's used AI.
Oh, yeah, when you
Um,
read it, it's the AI canned response.
oh, well, that's someone doing a poor job.
Yes.
But I mean, truthfully, when you get someone who knows how to prompt in such a way that is indistinguishable from human input
Hmm.
or actual human like content creation too. Like
Yeah.
when you get someone who truly knows and understands that and is able to replicate what humans create with AI, I mean, it is like 98%. There's just this like slight tinge of um, discernibility that you can have with what people have prompted versus what they've actually created. We're talking about this employee that I have. We were talking about where we draw our intrinsic or internal value and where we draw our external value. Like the external value is what is helpful and valuable and what you can be reciprocally compensated for out in the marketplace. And internal value is how I personally feel fulfilled and feel value in what I do or who I am or who I'm becoming, things like that in your transformation. So we're talking through all this stuff. We kind of realized that like he's at his core a creator, and I'm not a creator.
Yeah.
I'm like not artistic. I don't aspire to build something. I actually draw my value internally when I know that I've helped someone externally.
Hmm.
And not like I live off of the, attaboys, or
Right.
anything like that.
Your gold
Um,
stars that are on the wall.
yeah, ha 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 ha, ha,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
um, but he, I actually, I asked him this question in order to kind of deduce it, and I'll ask it to you because this is what I want to know about you. If you were planting a garden and you put all of the very specific plants in there, so it's self-sustaining, thriving, flourishing. The flowers are budding. And when they bloom, they're vibrant, and the bees are humming, and it is just a pleasant experience to walk through. Are you personally fulfilled for having planted the garden and that the garden is doing well? Or are you personally fulfilled when people can walk through and enjoy the garden?
Mm. That's interesting because I like to build and then hand the keys over to somebody and be like, hey, it's all ready to go. Have a blast. But then there's also a part of me that is, I like to help and have them experience a better life because of the value that I've been able to add to them. So I think it's weird because I'm half creative in a lot of ways too. Um, and I remember even in school, I had an accounting teacher in my last year of college, and he's like, "You can't like art and math. You have to pick one." I'm like, "But I can't. I can do both." I'm so sorry that that's a problem for you, but yeah, I think. Hmm. With this, I think I would I think I would like to build it and then kind of give it to like, let's say we did it. I would love to build it and then give it to the community to enjoy it. But I like to build. Yeah.
Okay. So you draw fulfillment from not this might be the wrong word, or it's like a portion of it, but it's essentially like external validation, where it's like because somebody else had a positive experience, they don't even have to tell you about it. Just the fact that you knew, like it doesn't even have to wrap around back to you, but you knew that you did something, you contributed something good so that the world was better off.
Yep.
Um, it's not like I built the garden so that I'm better off. I built the
Right.
garden so that the world is better off, right? So validation, that gets kind of blurry with like, vanity. Um,
Right.
and that's not what I'm saying at all, but like you're the type of person who, because I built something and deployed it out to the world and the world is a better place for it,
Hmm.
I am happy or I am
Yeah.
fulfilled.
Yep.
Interesting.
Hmm. And it's even like little things. Like you can think, like even in my neighborhood, um, helping people out in there, something so simple with, oh, here, let's do this. And it's so cool to see them smile or be like, oh my gosh, thank you. I was struggling with this and I'm not a big like if we dive into like love languages or whatnot, there's some people that get so hung up on words of affirmation. I
Hmm.
don't need much of that. Um, and I think
Me neither.
sometimes that can get misconstrued with what I do, of thinking that, oh, well, I have to have the stars on the wall and all of this. And I'm like, I honestly don't care. It's just, this is what brings me joy to do, and it's fulfilling, and I'm going to go do it.
It's interesting because on my end, I don't think through, or historically haven't really thought through the tail end of helping somebody, because a lot of times I mean, like literally like neighborhood stuff, or like, oh, this is heavy, or there was a woman needed to get. I was walking out of the Costco, and like into the parking lot, and this woman had a 24 pack of water bottles, and she had like a little like cat, like not like a brace on her arm or something, and she needed me to just load it up into her car. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, absolutely, yeah, here, and like I did it for her, and she's like, you have no idea how helpful that. I was like it is literally is like so close to like nothing, not a problem for me, like
Mhm.
not a big deal over on this end, but at the same time, I'm like, don't don't thank me, like my Lord's work got done.
Yeah.
Like that's like if you want to thank somebody, you can thank him because he instilled that in me. It's like
Hmm.
I I almost just want to just continue being a vessel of helpfulness because of who I believe in and what work
Yeah.
he's already done. Like, so no, I don't need thank you for the words. I guess I don't like
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
need them,
really need it. I
but you
was
don't want to
just
be
doing what I do.
yeah, but you don't want to be rude about it. Like,
I
hey, lady,
know.
stuff it, okay? Like, it's fine. It's not even a big deal. Like, you should see me in the gym curling fit. No, I'm just kidding. No, um, but yeah, it's weird. I struggle with stuff like that when people are like, "You're so this" or "You're so that," or I'm like, guys,
Just brush it off. You're like,
no,
thanks.
no, I'm not.
I had a really good friend that, because compliments are hard for me, and even in like in a business setting too. And I remember one time we used to do photography together, and we shot for about, I don't know, 10 or 12 years in LA, working in the music industry, doing promo pics and headshot work and all this stuff. It was a blast. This is where the creative side comes in, and this is now why my
Okay,
professor was upset with me of, you can't do both. I'm like, all right, but sure. We did this for a long time, and I can't take compliments to save my life very much. And he used to get so upset with me. And there were some days he'd be like, I'm so sorry. You're going to say thank you. You're going to say thank you. Don't brush it off. You say thank you. And so then it got to be a joke until I actually could accept the compliments. And he's like, see, it just took a little work, and now you're good.
yeah. Oh man. Uh, okay, so you genuinely did do like creative
Yeah.
work.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. That changes everything.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like both of this, sorry, what do you believe has led up to, like in your life and in your upbringing, that allows you to be both creative, I'll even dare say artistic,
Mm-hmm.
um, as well as analytical, algorithmic, computational, direct.
Mm-hmm.
How
I
do you think you
think
got there?
I think for me, emotions have never been extremely easy to show, and art was a way to do it. And when I did a lot of photography, I shot predominantly black and white. And you can get moody lighting, you can get bright lighting, you can do all these things, and it tells a story. And how many times that emotion would get captured in the image that I took. Like I can go and take a picture of a sunset, and you can see the story through my lens that I see. And that's what was for me so fun to do. Of I can take something so simple, and yet it's a picture that's like joy. Or you could see the picture
Hmm.
of somebody with deep hurt, or I don't know. It was just all, and I got to be, that was my signature, was lighting. And that's just kind of what I was known for.
That that is actually so cool. I'm a visual, like I'm an imaginative, sorry, an imaginative person,
Yeah. Oh, same.
and I literally just had like a flash through of like, so like it would be video, but I literally was just thinking through like a black and white like three frame scene of something that is so like relevant
Mm-hmm.
to like what I'm going through right now. Oh man. Okay, so like I can see it,
Yep.
but I really struggle with creating it. And by the way, I hope you understand that I am asking you these last few questions out of pure selfishness,
It's all
because
good.
literally to this day, probably for like the last decade or so, I
Mm-hmm.
have been so envious of creators. I'm analytical. I can model. I can reverse engineer. Um, but someone had to have the idea and the execution first, and I it chips away at me a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I work with a lot of creators. I work with a lot of really talented creators actually. Um, and they just like they just go and
Mm-hmm.
create. I'm like, but did you plan for it? No, no.
No, they just show up, and their brain is, hey, we're, because how many times I saw that working with these artists, and we would go on, and take some shoots, and they're like on the side humming some tunes into their phone, like, yeah, I'm gonna go home, and I got an idea for a song based off a word you said, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
amazing.
like,
My mind does not think that way, but I'm very picture driven, like images and things like that. And I think you can even bring it back to your own faith. Like, how does God speak to you? God speaks to me a lot in pictures. I think
yeah,
because
like
I have
almost,
such a vivid imagination, and it just, man, I wish I could create artistically what I see.
yeah, actually that would be really, maybe I should talk to him first. But yes, I receive literal picture or like 3D renditions of things in my head. He speaks very symbolically to me through
Hmm.
image and like moving imaginative creatures and things and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think probably like twice ever has he shown me like a literal verse. There was one time like I was praying through something, and it was kind of like around, I think it was like money and anxiety, and then literally like I can still see it in my head. But like, see, have you ever seen like a digital ticker board of like at
Oh,
the
yeah.
theater like what shows are on, and it's
Hmm.
like now playing James Cameron's, or James Cannon
And then the
Titanic at
times, all of
7
that.
p.m. like
Yep.
that. It like in that same like horizontal style, it like came across, but it was Matthew 6:33.
Oh
But
yeah.
it, it's the verse about do not store up treasures here on earth that rust and decay, but instead store up treasures in heaven. And I was like,
They're like, got it.
how how'd you do that? He sent me like a visual text, Um, otherwise, like I see so much other stuff that's like animal. He'll send like animals or I have some really crazy
Oh yeah, I write them
dreams.
down all the time because because the analytics side of me is like, okay, there's something that's being told to me. What is all that? I had years ago. I would wake up every morning at like between 2:30 3 a.m. and I would have a verse in mind. It was so trippy, and so I just started writing them all down every time, and then over time I was like, all right, I see what you're trying to tell me. I'm just a little stubborn. Got
Yeah.
it.
So, whenever I did become a follower and believer in Jesus, and when God started speaking this way, I started asking around. Someone told me to go buy this book, and I think they had it, so we would go through a few exercises with it. But this is 3,000 metaphors biblically based. So what, like, if I saw, here's a wild example, a marshmallow. If God
Hmm.
showed me an image of a marshmallow. Now, this doesn't mean that God shows a marshmallow, therefore it is exactly what is said inside of this book. But it gives you some direction to ask, like, okay, so what it says is God's portraying something without substance that's not solid. God's portraying something that is sweet and pleasurable. Or God is portraying something that has to do with people-pleasing messages.
Hmm.
Also see terms for rocks versus sand, or rocks and sand. And then verses that back up point 1, point 2, point 3. Hebrews 5:14, 2 Timothy 4:3, Galatians 1:10. And so it points back into the Bible where because you were shown this symbol or something to do with this marshmallow, pray and go look at this scripture, pray and meditate on this scripture. Ask God, were you trying to warn me about people-pleasing messages in churches that I'm trying out? And I'm just like
Yeah.
hypothesizing here, right? But like, this has been really, really helpful for me as I've gone through. I mean, God has sent me like a 10 image phrase that was like, by the end is like, ministry. You're called to ministry. Go minister to others. And I'm like,
You're like, what
you
does
said
that look
that? You just said that to me? What? um, dude,
That's
it's the
cool.
craziest thing.
It really is, and and then there's the thing, people they always talk about what's your word of the year and things like that, and I think there is some substance to it because I've had that the last few years. Like I've praying about it, and Lord's like, hey, this is gonna be your word for the year. This is the verse that kind of goes with it, and I'm like, okay, okay, and then you start to see all throughout the year how that comes into play.
Yeah. I no free ads, by the way. Where's my affiliate link?
Yeah,
um
right. You're like, drop below.
no. This thing is this thing's been crazy in so many ways, but there was one time where um so we were, gosh, this thing does not want to go back on the shelf. um I was like, I was in a spot. I was in like I don't know how, like, I'm pretty sure I had enough money to pay the mortgage, but the credit card bills were behind, and like I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I'm just like face down in my office, like sweating, just like, what's going to happen? And he sends me an image that as I continue to pray through, it's that God, I'm a provider. I will provide. Like, trust in me. Have put your faith in me. And I'm like, God, I just like how, like, I don't understand how, or you know what, better yet, why? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you want to provide for someone like me? Like, I'm so off, like, I'm not worthy. And it's the second that, like, I said in my mind and in my prayer, like, God, why me? I'm not worthy. It was like a flashbang went off in my eyeballs, this blinding white light. And as it dimmed and dissipated a bit, I saw, of course, right, like a white cross.
Mm-hmm.
And the message that was like, it's so weird. They're like downloads.
Oh yeah.
It's not like God said anything with words, but with an instantaneous downloaded understanding of what's being communicated. It's like, my son is worthy. Like that right there just leveled everything for me. So of course, I'm just like, I bust out crying. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
this, like, I'm not worthy. Like, phew, Jesus is worthy.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy. And it's like, and I've gotten words and images that I know are not yet. And when they do come to fruition, it's going to be so amazing. You know, like those types of things. And I was actually telling a friend of mine the other day, in the Old Testament, Elijah's praying for rain, and then it finally rains, 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this image of, all of the things that we have longed for and desired for, that when the rain comes. And I just had this image of sitting in a field and it's just raining. And so certain things that it's like, oh, I'm praying for this or that, of when that comes. I told my friend, I was like, you're gonna come over and I'm gonna teach you how to take a picture, but this is gonna be as a mark of what the Lord did. And it's gonna hang on the wall in my office and it would be something that would be black and white to color, because it's like, then the life is coming back into it.
Yeah, you're definitely a creative.
Yeah. I'm like, I just need a video camera and kind of get this angle, which I'm not great at stuff like that, but I see it all as if I write movies, but that's not my skill set.
Huh.
Yeah.
If you ever rebrand, definitely incorporate some of that into it, because I think that, not that there's anything wrong with Christy Barber Consulting.
It's just boring,
right?
But it worked well for searchability.
Right. What was that? What was that girl's name? Oh yeah, Christy. Oh, what's her business? Christy. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Like the recognition there is awesome. Also for personal brand.
Yeah. And that's how it had started out. So it made it easier. But also I'm like, a name would be really cool too, because for exit strategy and all those types of purposes, you're not buying my personal brand. You're buying the business. And so eventually as it grows and gets somewhere, it will be its own name.
Creative accounting. But surely someone's already done that, right? Like,
I'm sure they have.
Gray hat accounting. Sounds like fraud, but okay.
But okay.
Right? Man.
That would make a great podcast. Just saying.
Christy.
I think we came up with a great idea.
Do that podcast. Make that a podcast. Oh my gosh. Sounds like fraud, but okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That would be really funny. I'm going to write that down.
Oh my gosh.
It could be a TV show, honestly. You walk into somebody's establishment and you're like, oh, okay.
No transaction records? Sounds like fraud, but okay.
Yeah, but okay.
You like break the fourth wall and you like turn to the camera like.
Exactly.
Your Aunt Glenda does your accounting?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then my face will be a meme everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. Hey Christy, we're about at time here, but for the people who listen in all the way to the end and want to get connected with you, what's one of the best ways for someone to kind of like find out a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing, and maybe like reach out and send you a message?
Yeah, you can go to my website, christybarber.com. Feel free to email me, christy@christybarber.com. Pretty simple. And it's
Yeah,
the same across all my socials as well. Feel free to reach out. Yeah, I love chatting with people and learning about their business, learning about where they are with all of it.
nice. Okay, awesome. And then like if someone was interested in working with you, if you were able to peel back the curtain a little bit, what does like I don't want to say like the first 90 days in order to like box it in, but like ultimately that we know what they're feeling, what should they expect on the other side of working with you?
Yeah, so I do a deep dive type of assessment to really understand where you are, where you want to go, all of these things, and
Hmm.
then really putting together a plan that helps you get to where you want to go. I think it's a lot of people just say, "Oh, okay, we're doing accounting, done, click, go." Mine, I like it to be more of an experience type based. If you want that, some of my clients don't. They're like, "Hey, send me a video, tell me what to do. I don't need to talk to you ever." I'm like, "That's fine." And then others, they want more of that, and it just helps. It just helps me understand more about who they are in their business, and I've really enjoyed that. And um, that seems to work really well for my clients. And I would say
Hmm.
the majority of my clients have been with me from almost day one.
Wow. They're like
Yeah.
almost 100% retention rate.
Hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
And I think it attributes to that because it goes back to like the garden thing. I want people to experience this and have fun with it. And I want to create the best accounting experience I can for people because I know numbers are hard, they're confusing, there's a lot of emotions tied to it. And if I
Oh my
can
gosh.
alleviate some of that and make them fun, like we've talked about, um, then I can see that show up on their faces.
Okay. I can see that. And I definitely know like for so many people the anxiety of like actually looking at their
Hmm.
numbers and actually getting a clear picture. But I would also say like when I've done it, it's been some of the most freeing things because there's no a lot of times the fear is in the ambiguity. Like I don't
Yeah.
know if it's good or if it's bad. Like what if it's bad? Or like, I don't really think people are afraid if the numbers are good, but like they don't know what's on the other side.
Hmm.
And so they just feel anxious or,
Yeah.
hesitant to do it. So that's awesome. So thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been Better Humans. You know what? I just realized
Hmm.
I didn't tell people what Better Humans was all about all the way back at the very
Oh.
beginning. Ah, Better Humans is a show where we bring on other entrepreneurs and offer owners and people like that who are going out and reaching out, helping others through their business. We believe that entrepreneurship is the greatest form of personal development, and our businesses are how we reach out, help others transform in the same way. We believe in mutual benefit and shared values, trust and consistency over time. And yeah, this is where we just talk about all the great things that like myself and Christy and tons of other guests are coming on to talk about all the different ways that we're reaching out and impacting others, small scale or large scale. Um, yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Christy Barber, and go check her out at all the places we mentioned previously, christybarber.com, christy@christybarber.com. You're on Facebook and Instagram as well, right?
I am. Yep. And TikTok.
Heck yeah. And TikTok.
Yep. And TikTok.
Awesome.
You got to be there.
Do you?
I don't
Do
know. I go
you?
back and forth. My marketing team says I should be there.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Anyway, literally, that's a whole nother like rabbit hole I could go down with you. But anywho, okay, awesome.